Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Today, I have a flow for you that we often overlook, and let's start by holding the palm of our hand. So, today we are going to practice the diaphragm flow, and the diaphragm flow we often overlook it because when we read the symptoms, there's not so many symptoms that we have that we mention with the diaphragm flow. In the West, diaphragm is not recognized as an organ, really, it's a muscle, right? It's located right here. And in the East, it is umbilicus and diaphragm are recognized as organ flows, at least the pathways, the energies that move. So it's a very dynamic flow because, first of all, it allows for energy to move down. And when we are stuck in the waistline, it's important to move the energy down so that it can flow, free flow again, up and down the body. So the palm of the hand is wonderful because it gives us energy. So it nourishes our total system. And just feel the other one also. I'm feeling the difference between right and left. Which side you feel maybe warmer or fuller or emptier. And then just stay there where you feel it's more comfortable for you. So the diaphragm flow is dynamic for clammy hands, and also when we have a lot of heat coming from the hands. That would be a disharmonious heat, because sometimes when we practice jinshin, our hands get warm, and so I don't mean that kind, but there is this condition where the palms of the hands get really hot, and so we're talking about that. It will be helpful for that. The diaphragm flow, it starts in the chest, in the diaphragm area, and then moves to the middle finger and the ring finger. So it's interesting to note that the palm of the hand, depth 6, and then the middle finger, depth 3. So that's a very interesting relationship. Depth 6 are big source energy, and then depth 3 are individual source energy. So both of these we can see in the diaphragm flow. So if you have the book, The Art of Jinshin, I've adjusted the flow a little bit for self-help, because if you have the core textbook, it's really how to practice it on others. So most of you have The Art of Jinshin, so you can follow along on page 74 of your book. And let's start by holding the 19s. So this is a great flow also for arm projects. The energy moves through the inside of the arm and through the elbow also. So for elbow projects, tennis elbow, arm projects, and it moves right here. It's a dynamic flow for heart projects also. Prickling in the heart, circulation, and when the face is red and flushed, it can also be an indication of diaphragm flow need, right? Because the energy needs to descend. When we have a face that's prickly and red and flushed, the energy needs to descend. So right there, by holding the 19s, you're giving that an escape route and allowing for energy to descend. So let's take another nice deep breath here, filling up your lungs all the way, the top of the lungs, the bottom of the lungs, lifting your diaphragm. You can even hold your breath a little bit, really making sure that oxygen goes everywhere in your body, and then letting it go. Exhale. So you can hold 119 and then place the other hand on 14. And this is a wonderful hold, again, to open up the waistline. We often see people holding this naturally as well, 14 and 19. Look around you and you will see how often we practice the art of jinshin on ourselves without even being aware of it. So with this practice, we're bringing awareness to it. And how wonderful is that? So if you have an elbow project, you can go right onto where the pain is or the sensitivity and just hold it till it changes, which it will. When the energy starts to move, then projects will change or disappear. Safety energy locations will open up. Let's take another breath here. So 14 can be located here on the outside or closer on the inside. And you can stick your fingers in there a little bit and feel what's going on under that rib. If anything, getting to know your own body is a very important aspect of practicing jinshin. When we get to know our bodies, we are then have the tools that we can help ourselves. So then let's take our hand from the 19 and placing it on the 25. So we are now on 14 and 25 on the same side, and 25 regenerates our entire system. So it's a powerful location to give us energy and bring about regeneration. That's why children like to sit on their hands. And also it helps the front of the body. So for any stomach projects, it's helpful. Very, very nice. Let's take another breath here. Feeling for the pulsation as you're holding it. So 14 and 25, opening up the waistline, and with 25, we open up the hip line. And also harmonizing the front of our body. With 14, we allow for energy to descend, and with 25, for energy to ascend. So we have this cycle going on, down the front and up the back. Exhale, inhale. And then let's place our hand on location number 5. And if you're sitting down like me, you can do figure 4 like this. Or when you're lying down, you can hold a figure 4. And 5 is right underneath the ankle bone. And 5 is also dynamic location. It allows for energy to ascend and descend at the same time. And it's a great energy booster. So if you have low energy, then this flow is wonderful. If 5 is difficult for you to reach, you can hold 1 instead. Okay? But if you can reach it, by all means, please hold it as it is given in the book. So I'm going back to 5 here. And then the next step is placing our fingers onto our palm. So we're holding the palm of the hand. That's how we started, right? Holding the palm of our hand. So you can also do it like this. And if you work on someone else, we're just holding the palm of the hand with the other hand. So this is a little bit adjusted for self-help. This is also a great flow for when you have, sometimes you see people who have the tendons in their palm becoming contracted, and diaphragm flow is good because the energy moves through there, and so it can lengthen and straighten up. And then lastly, we hold the opposite ring finger, and the diaphragm flow again moves through both from the chest, from the diaphragm into the ring finger and into the middle finger. So right now we're holding the ring finger as part of the diaphragm flow, and at the ring finger it becomes umbilicus. So diaphragm and umbilicus are both on the 6th cycle of energy, or 6th depth, as we call it in the art of jinshin. And 6th depth connects us to big source energy. It's on the same level, it's just denser. It's a denser form. the diaphragm energy. So is the spine, also 6 depth. So this is a great flow also for spinal projects. And let's finish by holding the middle finger to harmonize fatigue, also to harmonize the diaphragm energy, our 3rd depth and our 6th depth. So now we understand why the middle finger harmonizes our 3rd depth and our 6th depth. On the depth level, it harmonizes the 3rd depth, and on an organ flow level, the 6th depth. So if you didn't get that, then just let that go by. There's a lot of students that are beginners, and I welcome all of you, and a lot of students who are old-timers who have been studying for a long time, and I welcome all of you too. So I practice this diaphragm flow and experience what it feels like to you, and if it's helpful for you, let me know in the comments. I like your feedback, and I thank you all so much for joining. If you're not subscribed to our channel, please do so and like the video. Thank you for joining, and I will see you next time.